Tales of Arise. Sandland. Last Akira Toriyama game, kind of 3D world, got tank building stuff in it, kind of cool. Returnal. Got it for like $20. Ratchet and Clank. Got it for $25, $30. Unicorn Overlord. Right? This is a Vanillaware type game. Callisto Protocol. Right? Again, I'll get these things on discount because they're physical copies. That's why I also love physical copies versus digital. You don't get discounts typically like that on digital. So, note to people, don't go all digital. I know it's convenient, but you're getting taken advantage of. We have no digital rights. They can shut stuff off on you right now as much as you want. Unless some type of legislation comes in place, it's just not happening. I'm telling you, Ubisoft shut off the game for Driver. 12 million people said, nope, I want you playing Driver 2. Shut it down so you couldn't even roll your own server, which is messed up. Exactly. You're proving my point. Skull and Bone for $10 at Best Buy, right? Or GameStop, buy 2, get 1 free, right? And if you spend $20 for that, $20 for that, you spend $40, got 3 games. Heck yeah, let's go. Why pay $70 for 1 game? The only games that I know go down in value are everything but Nintendo games. You want to get a Nintendo game, they very rarely ever go down in discount. Armored Core's $15, there we go. Lord of the Fallen, $15. I'm telling you, that's why I'm like, you want the disc drive, right? Oh, I know. How do you think I got half this collection? It's from buying used off of GameStop and everything else. The only thing I did differently was I was doing the Best Buy Gamers Club there way back, and I was getting mad money, or I get extra rewards and whatnot from Best Buy. Walmart, they do. What's interesting, and this is a tip for everyone. If you're at Walmart and you see games at the bottom of the cabinet, ask one of the Walmart people to check the price on that game. Usually, they're dirt cheap, and they won't advertise that either. Basically, they're the clearance games and whatnot, and they just stick them in the bottom. There's some people that will buy those and then resell them, which is crazy. I've seen stuff online about this. So, definitely. And you know what was the funniest thing? For the longest time, Walmart was selling all Nintendo games $10 cheaper, and it wasn't advertised. So you go anywhere else, and there's a Nintendo game for $60. You go to Walmart, it was $50. So, but pre-orders, if you got to do a pre-order, which I don't always do pre-orders, Best Buy is one that will get you through the day versus Amazon or something else, right? So, yes. Don't worry, there's a lot of good games. I haven't, just to let you know what the last Resident Evil game I played? Resident Evil 4 for the GameCube. I have been slowly gathering up Resident Evils. I haven't played them all. I haven't played 5, 6, or 7, or, well, the new one, 8, which is Villages. So, if you see a Sony do an online sale, just Google search the game. It might be 8% off. One-time reeler has it on sale physical. Yeah. I'll have to take that into consideration. You know, Sony and all them, they're really good for getting discount games. And realistically, you know, unless it's something really hot and you just gotta play it, let's go, right? So, the only thing I try to stay away from when it comes to Sony is if it is an online game, I stay away from it. I do it on PC only because I'm not paying for PlayStation Network. I'll play for free. So, that and the remakes on the PC, they're higher fidelity, but usually the years later, and to be honest, it's more for selling it to people who've never owned a PlayStation. So, that's usually where I'm at in that regard. But yeah, definitely. I mean, my PlayStation, was it 3? Yeah, my PlayStation 3 was nothing but the buy 2, get 1 free. And I got a whole ton of those games. Plus I have, you want a game that people forget? Gravity Rush 2. That's a fully 3D, you're flying through the air, everything's upside down. think I got that for 20 bucks or something, maybe? I'm telling you, I got some games. The only thing is it really depends upon, you know, I'm trying to be careful with certain games because certain games, like Elden Ring, I don't want to be streaming for a year like I did Zelda if I can get away with it. Especially a Dark Souls type of game. So I'm a little leery of playing Elden Ring on stream in that regard. Because I don't want to get tied up. I try to only do 3 games, so I have variety, right? 2 mature-ish titles and then 1 general audience title. So that way I have content because I'm trying to grow the channel. I don't want to not make that available for kids because I'm trying to get my views up and I'm trying to do all that type of stuff. Once I get up to a certain point and I'm monetized, I'm then going to look at my whole channel and see where's the audience, what kind of games they looking at. Also, I'm going to have more people like you that come in and maybe talk to me and everything else, and then I can try to tailor what we're going to play, right? Right now, I have you, which is being vocal, which is good. I've had Squall Rush, who he's a streamer too. He wanted me to play Dying Light 2. I still need to do that. But my son, he watches the heck out of my videos, right? So I'm also streaming for him because he enjoys watching my content. And he's 4. So if that explains anything to you, now you somewhat understand why I do this. But also, here's the thing is, how much content is there out there for kids, really? I mean, there's some people that stream, right? But how much actual good quality YouTube stuff is there? Right? Oh, Grand Theft Auto. You know, that's another one I need to do. I haven't done any of those. Maybe what I'll do, because I've never played one, maybe what I'll do is I'll wait until Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, because 5's been out forever. So I don't know if I want to do that one. And maybe do Grand Theft Auto 6 off stream? Oh, heck no. The amount of shenanigans that happens with that, oh, I want that to be live. I want that to be in there, right? Why not? Let's go. I mean, and realistically, if I was to do it, right, why not play it live? The only thing that's questionable, and I ask people about if I should do off stream, is when I'm playing a game like Final Fantasy, the grinding to a little bit, should I do that on stream? And I was told, like, you know, like, example, the 2 horses for Stellar Blade, he's like, should I do that off stream and then just like stop, and then that way I'm not wasting stream time? And the answer is no. People want to see me struggle. People want to see me get through it, right, and cheer me on. And that's happened with Stellar Blade, and that's happened somewhat with Cyberpunk when I had to fight the ninja. Like, it took me 2 tries to beat that ninja, but I did it. And it was quite an accomplishment. So, you know. But no, Grand Theft Auto, yep. I mean, that's another one I got to do. I also haven't played the, Uncharted games. And what about Assassin's Creed? Right? You know. Now, where you start with Assassin's Creed's another thing altogether. I just don't know. Uncharted, I have the collection, so I got that with when I had my PlayStation 4 and some stuff. So, there's also Tomb Raider. What about Tomb Raider, right? Nope. I have not played any of those GTAs. And there's a reason why. The reason why I have never played them was because I was mainly more into story-driven games, if you will. I wasn't much into a lot of sandbox type of games. They sounded cool and whatnot, but my concern was you would have to, like, wander around the city, and there was a lot of busy work and fetch quests and things like that. And it wasn't as interesting. But I think at this point, I think the games have gotten to the point where especially after Cyberpunk, they can really make the area seem alive and that it's not really empty or whatever, right? And so I'll be honest, I'll be really interested in playing Gran Turismo 6 just to see how that levels out, because now you got a game built with SSDs in mind. So load times and how big of an expansive place you can have and how varied the terrain is with direct access storage and stuff like that is going to be crazy. On top of the fact, you're going to have a little bit of better race tracing, so the night scenes are going to be kind of cool and whatnot like that, and what you can do. Plus, they're going to have AI probably in the PlayStation 6. So my thought process is maybe they'll have better enemy AI, which would be kind of cool. So I'm excited to see from that perspective, what do those games look like, right? Because I get a feeling they're going to be even cooler before. I was thinking of picking up the collection, but then I heard the collection is utter junk on the Switch. It might be okay on the PlayStation, but I don't know. But we'll try it out. I'm like I said, I'm probably gonna do GTA 6. Is what I'm thinking. Because GTA 5 is so old, my concern is it'll feel dated in its gameplay. I could be wrong. I could be convinced otherwise. I mean, GTA for me got famous when you did people talking about the hot coffee mod. You know what I mean? It's like, what? So I don't know if that was in the PlayStation, or if, was that a thing more of like after the fact, like when it came to PC. I can't remember. I want to say it was when it came to the PC, but I don't know if that's for certain. All right, I'll take your word for it. Well, I mean, all right. Well, you know, first of all, we're gonna probably play Wukong first. One, because I have a feeling that game will more than likely be a shorter game than GTA 5. GTA 5 is probably going to be a longer lead game than Wukong. I mean, you can tell me otherwise if that's the case, but I have a feeling that's the case. So maybe what we'll do is, right now I have a long lead time game of Rebirth, right? I don't expect there to be a Final Fantasy game for a while, right? And that's a fairly long lead type game, right? So I think maybe what I'll do is maybe we'll look into maybe GTA 5 after Rebirth is done, maybe? Maybe that's what we'll look at. I mean, I probably feel more confident doing GTA 5 than Elden Ring, but because I'm just afraid that that's going to be a slugfest, being it's a Dark Souls game and it's pretty expansive. But then again, the hijinks might be pretty high, because I hear you can wander in areas and there's a monster that just utterly destroys you. So, I mean, if I'm being honest, you'll be on Black Myth for months and months. It's vastly harder than Stellar Blade. No difficulty on Black Myth. It's a grind. How's it a grind? I mean, is it really a grind? Or is it more of a game where, okay, you gotta fight people, you can't just like be skipping people type of thing? See, that's the thing about Stellar Blade is I don't feel like I've ever had to really grind the game, but that's also because I don't skip out on fights, right? And that's a good balanced game where it's like, okay, if you don't skip out on fights and actually do your thing, you're good, right? But I guess it really depends. Basically, it's a boss run game? Oh. Well, that could be fun in its own right. Well, I mean, that kind of sounds similar to Stellar Blade to a degree. Because, I mean, that's basically the way Stellar Blade is to a point, right? Because, you know, you can't get to other levels unless you can't get to different things unless you beat the bosses, right? I don't know. Well, listen. You plus everyone else says Black Myth is worth it. Could I beat Zelda sooner than what I did? Ah, jeez. The answer is yes. I could beat Zelda a lot sooner. But the difference with Zelda was... just... Oh my gosh, seriously. Yeah, not to take anything away from him, but it's my personal game of the year. Hey, listen. I don't doubt that in the least. Because if you think about it, there's a lot of good games that came out this year, right? Depending on what you're looking at. Like, I haven't played it, but you know, there a lot of people liked Helldivers, right? Or I'm sorry, Helldivers 2, I should be more specific. But then, like, you know, can I go around the corner? Yeah, let's go around the corner. When it comes to other games, some people really like Stellar Blade. Black Myth Wukong's another one, right? Let's see. I don't think Remake will get the nod for anything, just simply because I don't think a lot of people thought it was as good as Remake. And you know what? Depending on what you're looking for in a game, I would almost tend to agree, because it was more of a game that was more linear. You had a story. It was very tight in its regard. Whereas Remake has got this open worldness that just feels like it's unnecessary. And what I kind of like, I don't know about Black Myth Wukong, but I kind of like the fact, like, with Stellar Blade, it's a new company, or it's not a newish company, but it's the first console game they did. And they did so well in that game versus what they did before, which were cell phone games, right? And you would never know it, right? Like, I mean, obviously you would understand the parallels with the game if you played it. They, Nikki Valkyrie something or other, I forget what it was called, was their last game before Stellar Blade. And it has, you know, the girls are looking all nice and all that jazz. And it was somewhat of a shooter. But, I mean, the gameplay was so vastly different. And that Stellar Blade is so much more complex than that game is. It's kind of crazy how well they hit it out of the park versus some of the PlayStation games just, like, not doing very good. So, Stellar Blade and Myth are like a tie for my first series. You know what? And I'd be all right with that, to be honest with you. Why does one game have to be Game of the Year? Well, you know what I mean? Why can't we have Games of the Year, right? Why has it got to be one? Because, like last year, I felt Tears of the Kingdom and, was it Baldur's Gate 3? I think they both were Games of the Year. I mean, you know how many people were like, oh, crap, well, I'm not going to have to change how I make games now because, you know, Zelda makes me look pathetic. Example, Starfield had 26 temples. They were literally copy and paste. They did not change anything with them. It was ridiculous. Zelda had 152 shrines with different puzzles. Really? Bethesda? Get your act together. But that's just me. Oh, I hit the wrong button. That's another thing. Switching back and forth between Nintendo and PlayStation when the one button's okay, but on the PlayStation it's return and vice versa. Oh my gosh, is that annoying. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, but I know that's a long game. I've also heard that very interesting on Baldur's Gate 3 because you can decide to like kill the NPCs and it can change the game. So there's a lot of kind of cool, interesting things you could do with that game. That's definitely another game I'm gonna have to play. So many good games. I'm telling you, kids today, they don't know how good they have it. Yeah, I haven't played it either. Now, mind you, I could have. But when that came out, I was streaming other games.
You can do it.
And the way I try to run things right now is I make it a point that I have a regular job, so I got to do that 40 hours a week. I try to stream when the kids are asleep, because that way I don't have contamination of audio and stuff like that, or them coming and bothering me. So I do that 3 nights a week. And then on the weekend, I'm doing stuff, you know, for the household, or things that need to get done, or things like that. So in general, I try to not play a lot of other games when I'm not streaming. One, because what if I play them and then there's some hilarious thing and I miss it, right? It just blows me away. You haven't experienced GTA 5. The game story I played the most times, I'll never forget it, getting in my pre-order in 2013. 2013, was that PlayStation 3 or PlayStation... No, that had been PlayStation 4 way back. Okay, so understand me in the fact that I did not own a PlayStation... I did not own a PlayStation 4 right away. No, PlayStation 3? Yeah, 360 era? Okay. I got my PlayStation 3 around the Metal Gear Solid 4 era. I got the big fat one, right? This one plays the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 3 stuff. So... yeah. Yeah. So, okay, fine. I won't tell you. Again, there's a lot of good games, but Red Dead Redemption 2, that would probably be one I would play on the PC. Because that's one where I have an ultra wide, like it really would lend itself, and I think that's also where I'm going to probably go with Black Myth Wukong, is because it gives me a good vista. I really wish I could have played Horizon Zero Dawn on the PC, because I think that really would have been cool in that regard with what you can see and do. And I really like that a lot when it comes to those type of games. But like Stellar Blade, that would have been cool on PC too, but it's only on the PlayStation. That's what I'm going to do. Yep, so I got Red Dead Redemption, Elden Ring, GTA 5, Control. I mean, the list is long, right? But part of the reason why is I didn't buy all the PlayStation 4 games when they came out at the time, right? And the reason why is I knew they would come down in price, but I also refused to buy a PlayStation 4 because I was hearing that there was issues with PlayStation 4, so I wanted to wait until they sorted out the problems with them. Because I got lucky, and I mean darn lucky. My actual PlayStation 3 got the, I forget what it was called, the blue line or whatever it was. Basically like the Red Ring of Death. It desoldered itself and it wouldn't function. And the reason why it did that was because of the EPA and them forcing manufacturers to go to lead-free solder. And when that happened, you were pretty much hosed. But I didn't want to buy the newer one and lose my ability to play PlayStation 2 and 1 games, because I like not having to have a memory card. And I like the upscaling it automatically did with the Blu-ray, right? Or I mean, not the Blu-ray, with the HDMI. So I wanted to keep all that. Plus, I liked it as a Blu-ray player. It was my media center for everything. In fact, for the longest time, until the games got cheap or whatever, I was using it mainly for streaming with Netflix when it first came out. Yeah. Like, when Netflix was a thing before Blockbuster went under, right? I will say, I have played Witcher 3. Now, mind you, that was before I was streaming. I have not finished Witcher 3. And the reason for that is, well, I got to a certain point when I was going to start the stream. It's like, what do I do? Do I keep playing the game, or do I start from scratch, right? A good example of that is Cyberpunk. I went to play that game, and the frame rate and everything was junk, and I need a better graphics card.
What's that?
I had a Vegas 64, and
There must be a way.
I was getting 30 frames per second, which wasn't great. So it was kind of like,
Good choice.
do I just wait because of all the bugs and everything else until they fix the game? And that's what I did. I literally played it for 2 hours and then put it down. And then came back with a much better system to be able to play it. Poor PlayStation 4 and Xbox people. Oh my gosh. Like, that's my type of game, but I never loved it. What, Cyberpunk? Or, Witcher 3. Oh, Witcher 3? I mean, it's a fairly old-style game. I mean, it's open world to a degree, but I didn't feel like it was too grindy where, oh, I can't get past a certain area. I don't think. I can't remember if I got stuck in a boss or if I just got distracted with other games, which is a high possibility. Yeah, and I'll be honest, you know, compared to what it was at launch, yeah, it's a much better state. I will point out it was very, how should I put this, obvious and also jarring to play Starfield at the same time as playing Cyberpunk in its patched, awesome form. It made Starfield look really, really bad because of that. What's the trailer for number 2? Is that February? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if there's a ton of games coming out for next year. The only one that is on my radar at the moment is Metroid Prime 4. But I get the sneaking suspicion it's going to come out on both the Switch and the next Nintendo system. And I'd rather have it on the next Nintendo system. But I also kind of get the suspicion if they got to launch their system, Nintendo's going to be ridiculous, and they're going to be having games coming out like every month. And they're going to be like, oh, here's a new Mario, here's this, here's that, here's a new Mario Kart. And I'm going to be like, ah. Now, I'm not going to stream Mario Kart. That's a for certain. Because I tend to try to do just story games if I can. Did you ever play Knights on, was it Sega? What was that on? I want to say it was on Saturn or something. That was a fun game. It was like what we're doing here on this level, which the gameplay was much better. But it was also in, like, it was like this, but like you could spin the level, and it was like sort of like 3D. Mind you, this was about the same time as like, what was it? Mario 64. I did recently play Prince of Persia, though this year it was my first time playing the platform, I believe. You know, Prince of Persia's been around for a while. I mean, way back when it was on PC, because it was a PC thing. I've never really played the recent ones, so I don't know how good they are or are not. I thought at one point they were sort of becoming almost like a sort of Assassin's Creed thing to a degree, but I don't know. I haven't really looked into them. Probably should, because I'm sure I could get it for cheap. Actually, wait a minute. PlayStation 3. There we go. Mortal Rising? No, I think it was on my list. I haven't actually got that. Nice. What a classic copy. Well, yeah, I know, right? And again, once that stuff's gone, it's gone. You're not getting it, right? And that's one of the biggest problems is if you don't snap them up when they're cheap, then when people actually want to play them, then they become ridiculously expensive. Like, I can't remember, it was a Second and 2 for the PlayStation 3. They're like charging like hundreds of dollars for that. I got lucky with my PlayStation 3 and they still have the store, and I bought a bunch of digital copies of the Second games because you couldn't physically get them for cheap. So I have them all loaded on my PlayStation 3 to eventually get around to playing them. And that's the other thing is, it's just, I have so many games that realistically I will never be wanting for content. Yeah, I heard they copied it somewhat. Though I heard the dialogue in that game is pretty good. And that's the thing sometimes is like, you know, as long as the game's not too bad, if it has a cool hook that people like either the gameplay is good or, you know, one of the things that kept me going with Starfield was I loved the dialogue in the game. I thought they were hilarious. The side quests were good, but the dialogue was what kept me going. That and the bugs. The bugs were funny. Oh, another game. Now, mind you, it's a roguelike, so I don't know if I'd ever stream it, is Hades. I haven't played Hades. Though I know that got Game of the Year. And the only reason why I wouldn't be too much inclined to do that is because it's a roguelike. And I just don't know about that. Oh, another thing I haven't technically played, though I know of it, is I haven't played any Diablos. I mean, I played a bunch of Blizzard games, whether it's StarCraft 2 or Warcraft or things like that. But by the way, I don't know if you caught that. Did you see what I held up? This came out. It had anime scenes. It had robot battles. You could do special moves and whatnot. One game that I will more than likely never play on the stream will be the Skya games. I have those and kind of like those. But the amount of grinding you have to do in that game to play that game, I'd be streaming forever. And it'd be a lot of monotonous stuff. So I also try to avoid games like that if I can. Because I'm trying to let you guys experience the story, my reaction to the story, if you will, and whatnot. I also kind of did the Zelda games a little bit because then I could do voices and I could read what they're saying because, you know, a lot of the older games didn't have voice in them. And that makes it interesting. Because, you know, I can go, "Oh no, it's coming to get us," or "Oh no, come save me," you know, various things like that, you know, and it's all good. Whatever needs to be done. Do a robot voice and all that jazz. Definitely don't play Assassin's Creed Valhalla on stream, though. Okay. Why? Why not play that on stream? Any reasons? I mean, I'll take your word for it. It's so grimy, but not in a good way, unfortunately. That is unfortunate. I hate when games, like, they pad out a game just because they don't know how to design a game right. And maybe they had a requirement the game needed to be so long, so they felt like they could get away with doing that kind of nonsense. Oh, I'm sure it's fun. I will take your advisement not to stream that game. I was watching streams here on Kick, but when I see your content in my flooded YouTube algorithm, I make sure to show some love. I gotta go buy a digital line over there, though. Hey, that's okay. Hey, listen, I get that. You know, there's a lot of people out there. Well, you know, there's a lot of people that comment on my videos and my shorts and whatnot on YouTube. And so even though, like I said, sometimes I don't see people in the streams, I get comments and stuff and whatnot about the various things, and it's always fun. And I respond to everyone who makes comments in that regard. The other thing is, not so much for my, let's say, most of my game contents, I don't do anything kind of funny with them, but with my Zelda ones, I did initially. Simply because it was more open world and less serious. Just if you watch my Zelda streams, understand that there was a little bit of audio of me working through things on several of the beginning streams, so I've improved my quality a lot, the lighting and various other things. There was a little bit of an echo going on in my streams, but the Zelda streams are definitely worth it, because in those, I'll do various cultural whatever references, and then we'll do little clips in. Like, there'll be one I do one, and there's like, I'm hitting something, and it's like a gong, and I go, "Oh, kabong!" And then we clip in a video of like an old Hanna-Barbera thing of it. It's definitely something to take a look at. And the good news is, I have all my stuff on YouTube in playlists. So if you want to binge it, you can. I streamed that for over a year. That's how long I play that game. 152 shrines. I don't have all the videos up just yet. I think I'm up to 78. Yeah, 78. I have 100 episodes on that silly game. And basically every stream, I got 3 videos out of it to give you an idea. So, yeah. But that's what happens when you only stream it once a week, right? I do need to stream the other Zelda games, though. Because, except for Zelda 2... I appreciate you coming out, Lace15. You're always welcome in my streams, no matter what it is.